Okay, I want to start with a melody. Now, can you guess the composer? Is that Chopin? Is that Beethoven? Is that Tchaikovsky? That's wrong. Nocturne in C sharp minor, opus 61, was composed, arranged, and recorded entirely by artificial intelligence. It's a common standard practice in the music industry. And there are millions, if not billions, of examples that we could use. Not only in music, but in movies, books, journalism, even religion. Yes, religion. Here's an example. Last summer, I was in Kyoto, Japan. If you go there, make sure to visit a temple called Kodachi Temple. You will be welcomed by Canon Mindar, a non-biological monk created to attract younger audiences to Buddhism. And if you think that this is an anomaly, think again. Christians are implementing technology in their day-to-day practices as well, such as smart rosaries, the one you're seeing on my screen right now. Now, the bottom line is that artificial intelligence, or AI, eventually entered those aspects of our lives once ruled by humans only. And travel, of course, is one of them. But the real question should not be why. The real question should be, why now? Here are some of the main drivers for this explosion of intelligence. Moore's law, global connectivity, progress in machine learning, and cheaper access to cloud computing are the most significant ones. This is the ideal environment for a post-human or even a transhuman industry to flourish. This is why now and not why. Why now? Because now we can. Now we have the technology we needed, and we didn't have this technology in the 80s, in the 90s, or in the first years of 2000. So always remember that there is more computational power in your iPhone today than on the computers that sent the first man to the moon. And that is something we should always remember when it comes to technology and the advancement of technology. Now, let me take a philosophical angle for a second. Friedrich Nietzsche was probably the most important thinker of all times. And once he wrote that man is a rope tied between beast and Übermensch. Now, you can translate Übermensch as Superman or Overman, but I prefer the German original term, as it does not give that superhero Hollywood movie connotation to the word. What if we got Nietzsche wrong the whole time? What if this Übermensch is not going to be biological, but non-biological? What if the Superman is the artificial intelligence? What if we are indeed a rope, but not between beasts and Übermensch, so not between beasts and Superman or Overman, but between beasts and artificial beings? It's an intriguing question. But enough with philosophy. There are industries where AI is already mass adopted. Think about the medical field. So we spoke a little about coronavirus. If you think about how much AI was used and machine learning was used in the coronavirus crisis, you have an example of the application of AI. And but why this is not the case with hospitality? Why, for example, if we talk about AI in the medical environment, we're happy about it. And if we talk about artificial intelligence in hospitality, we become nervous. The problem may be entirely semantic. And stay with me for a second, you will understand what I mean. When we say artificial intelligence, we are implying that this is something opposed to human intelligence. So you got artificial intelligence on one side, and you got human intelligence on the other. But this is rarely the case. It's never AI versus HI being human intelligence. It's AI plus HI, artificial intelligence plus human intelligence. So let me ask you something. How is a chatbot, for example, any different from a PMS? It is just technology, right? Are you afraid of losing the human touch when you use a PMS? Are you afraid of losing the human touch, quote unquote, when you use a booking engine or a channel manager? Of course you don't. But PMS stands for Property Management System, not, let's say, artificial concierge. Words shape our reality. And I am sure we would have less bias if we'd call artificial intelligence simply technology. It's the word intelligence that's problematic here. So again, I think this is all a huge semantic problem. True, we are at least partially becoming obsolete, such as CDs, DVDs, and USB keys before us. An example, let me ask you this. When is the last time you booked a trip at a physical agency or withdrawn cash from a human employee at a bank? Well, here's your answer. Bottom line is what I call techno-Darwinism. Technologies that make the life of human beings better, and this means hoteliers as well, will eventually be mass adopted, whether we like it or not. The future can be a threat or it can be a promise. Utopia or dystopia, Eden or Armageddon. And if you are worried about losing the quote unquote, again, human touch, think again. According to a Qualtrics study, 1 out of 2 bad hotel experiences are down to the human staff, not technology. It means that 50% of your bad reviews are due to issues with people. This does not mean, of course, that humans are bad. They are just overworked, especially in hotels. Paradoxically, the more technology you put into hotels, the more human the experience will become. Think about it for a second. You are freeing your precious human staff from repetitive tasks and put it back where the added value really is, taking care of guests, instead of taking care of your hotel software. Technology should take care of what I call the logistics of travel. There's no added value in having a human being making a copy of the passport, for example, or a copy of a credit card. This is not what humans are for in hospitality. There's no human touch in making a copy of a passport, in making a copy of a credit card. Now, I love this quote that you see on my screen now. This is from Daniel Burrs. And he says, agility is a reactive strategy. And agility is a word we all hear very often, especially when it comes to tech companies and hotels, and especially now. But agility is a reactive strategy. Agile companies know how to react quickly after a disruption occurs. Think about what happened with coronavirus and how agile most hotels were to adapt. That's good, of course, but that is not good enough. We don't have to react to change. We have to anticipate the change. And if you are scared of technology, remember that Prometheus didn't invent fire. He simply stole it from the gods and he gave it to humans to make their life easier. We can say that artificial intelligence is the fire of our generation. Now, technology reshaped politics, war, economy, medicine, biology, and the notions of life and death themselves. Why shouldn't it reshape travel? This is what I try to answer with my speech. Here are some of the applications we have of technology in travel. So let's take a look at the most interesting one. For example, the use of artificial intelligence in web design. As we all know, the version of a website that I see is exactly the same version that Bruno is seeing, or Maria is saying. Websites today are nothing but glorified version of PDFs, right? With generative design or artificial design intelligence or ADI, we could create websites that self-create. So the only thing that we need to do is answer a couple of questions, answer a survey, and the system itself will create a website that will adapt to different usage. Or think about the use of AI and machine learning in advertisement. This is a typical example. You got somebody that is coming on your website for the third time. It's coming from an high spending market, an high spending demographic, and is looking for four more nights. And this is for you a very interesting potential customer, right? So you may want to spend a little more and invest a little more on this click. The machine learning and the AI can do this for you. And this is something that not even an army of marketers can do manually. This is another example. It's the same ads, but this time it's somebody that is on the website for the first time. It's from a low spending market. It's coming from a mobile search where we know that we got a lower conversion rate, and it's looking only for one night. What we may want here is to decrease our investment. Again, this is something that artificial intelligence can do for you. And this is where artificial intelligence started to infiltrate in the hospitality industry with revenue management. There are already many companies. You're seeing some of them on my screen that are replacing human revenue managers with RMS, revenue management systems that use machine learning and get information from third parties to get the best rate and the best suggestion of inventory and distribution strategy. If you think about the fact that most of what happened in Wall Street at the stock market is already done by algorithms, it does give you an example of what we can do in revenue management, where the variables are way lower than the stock market. Or again, think about the room of the future. Here's a little video, and especially now with coronavirus, with the social distancing, we are seeing a lot of hotels implementing touchless technology, from biometrics check-ins to luggage that self-drive to the hotel door, keyless technology to open the doors, voice-activated systems in the room, automatic room delivery, automatic room service, smart wake-up calls, and on and on and on. And this is, of course, not science fiction. It's something that is already happening in hotels right now. So if you think that this is something that shouldn't bother you now, maybe you have to think again. And especially now with coronavirus, we saw an explosion of this touchless technology. What you're seeing now is a real hotel implementing self-check-in and check-out kiosks, so you can get into your room with a QR code without even having to touch a key card. In-house voice interaction system, smart wake-ups again. And at the end of the stay, self-checkout. So all the stay can be frictionless without any kind of human interaction with your staff. It doesn't mean that you have to replace people. This only means that guests are looking for this kind of facilities, this kind of feature. And we should always give guests a choice between interacting with a human being or interacting with a machine. So before we end, let's take a look at new trends in hospitality. Smart rooms, of course, is a big trend. Rooms are getting smarter by the day, and implementing this technology is becoming cheaper by the day. And especially now with the need of a more tailor-made experience, creating rooms that are getting smarter is obviously something that can hugely benefit from. You can hugely benefit from. So keyless technology, it's something that we heard a lot about, especially during the pandemic now. AI, the use of AI in anything from web design to RMSs to cancellation tools to chatbot or conversational marketing. Voice, another huge trend in the hospitality. The use of chatbots and conversational marketing, video streaming in rooms, sleep aid devices, something that can help guests having a better sleeping experience at your place. Gaming, another huge trend. A lot of hotels are converting some of the rooms into gaming rooms, and consider that gaming is now an industry that is making more money than music and movies combined. Self-check-in and check-out technologies, and ABS, a different way of understanding and thinking about revenue management, where instead of selling rooms, you sell attribute of the rooms. And I would like to end with this quote by Sundar Pichai that said that the last 10 years have been all about building a world that is mobile first. If you think about the fact that the first iPhone was launched in 2007, and the first thing we do in the morning and the last thing we do at night is taking our mobile phone, I think they succeed. But the next 10 years will shift to a world that is AI first. So I tend to trust Pichai when he says that, and I'm very excited to see what the future of AI in the hospitality will hold for us. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Simone, for your futuristic presentation, or what should be the present, no, for hotels, because you say many people ask already for that. And in your opinion, what are some of the technologies and innovations for hoteliers and those in the hospitality that should be leveraging now to strengthen their business for the future?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, to make stronger, what the technology should be used right now to make stronger the business for the future for the hotels?
Well, right now, there are several technologies that you can use. Like, of course, everything that is touchless, it's something that I would suggest to use right now, especially because there are several studies that says that hotels that offer touchless experience will be able to have a better, will deliver a better experience. So I would say everything that is touchless, from self-check-in apps to kiosks, keyless technology could actually give a huge benefit. And a lot of this technology can be both as software as a service. So basically, you will not have to buy the kiosk. You will not have to buy the technology. You can actually rent it, right? So that will help a lot, at least the perception of safety.